Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am going to be sharing the Marriott Harbour Lake room tour. This room that we got sleeps really 8 people, but it was only the 4 of us. Because we just like luxury, and that's what worked best for us. But I was in this place before a few years back. It definitely changed a little bit from the last time. But anyway, as you guys can see, this is the first room. This is the room that I stayed in. Upon entering, there's a door that you can enter into our bathroom. There was, of course, a tub, and then under they have extra towels. They it came to clean for us every 2 days. The last time we were here, they didn't do that, so I think it depends on what you book and how you book. Their shampoo, conditioner, and hand and body wash. I actually used all three when I was there. I did bring my own body wash, which I did use, but sometimes I just wanted to wash my hands, and then I just used that soap. This was our room. So my sister and I's room specifically, we had 2 queen beds. As you guys can see, I do like the overall furniture that this Marriott overall has is very different. For example, like the lamp was like cactus looking. Where do you see that? Very different. And then we had lights that we discovered like towards the end of our stay. There was multiple different lights that you could turn on in the room, which was actually pretty cool. Some of them were really bright. This was our setup for our drawers, and then of course we had our TV. And what's funny is you see how the remote is standing up like that. That's a signature thing that they always would do. The only time they did not touch the remote since I was there was if I was had something playing on YouTube that I left the room. That's the only time they didn't touch it. This was our closet situation. And then when you come out, well, I actually went back the other way, sorry. So again, they have pool towels already on the sink. They always did that when they came in. So coming back in, when you walk in, there is the kitchen area and the living room area. So this is our kitchen setup. We actually started putting things down, so that's why you guys see like things all over the place. But I try to keep it as neat as possible from when you come in. These are the dishes. I did like that they had an overall color theme, as you guys can see. And then so we had a dishwasher, we had the toaster, we had fridge, obviously, microwave, everything that you pretty much need and everything that you have in your home. That's ideally what this resort is giving you. And then of course, this is like the sitting area. So they had like a booth situation, but they also had 2 chairs where you could sit, like kind of a bar thing. This is like was a pantry area, so we put all our food in here already. But I'm just showing you guys that's what you could use that for, if you have a room like this. And then again, just showing you guys the nice lamps. Like I said, they were everywhere. Some of them we did not turn on. Like this huge one was very bright. We never turned it on. The one time we turned it on, it was like very like too much. I don't foresee anybody needing this much light, so you really don't need many of the lights. It's just too many. You see, and then they have a light behind the TV. That was kind of like how the light was in our room. We had some lights behind our bed, so multiple opportunities for light if you need light. That was a good part of it. And then now into the second room. This was the king bed. They have different room design, which is also what I like too. The rooms were exactly the same. This room actually had a stool though where you could sit, which was I wish we had in our room because it's hard. Like if you want to sit down, you can't really sit down. The only place you could sit down is your bed. Like I said, the signature remote has to be standing up. I think that's just something that housekeeping is told to do. But I thought it was funny every day when I come in, when they would come in and then put it back up. But then the design of the rooms were different. So as you guys can see, the furniture, the concept was the same, but different art pieces, different everything. The colors the same, the teal color. And then the difference in this room is that they had a standing shower as opposed to a tub. They had same concept. They had tissue. They every day when they, well, not every day, they came every 2 days for us specifically. They would change the towels, give us new pool towels, take out the garbage, obviously. Again, same shampoo, conditioner, hand wash in the shower. But also in their bathroom, they had more of areas where they could store stuff, like their products. Ours, we just stored it on top of the tub. So that was the difference in rooms. And then I didn't really go out much out here, but this was just pretty much the patio. I did go out there from time to time, but it obviously it's Florida. It was 90 degrees. It was hot, so I wasn't there every day. And you know, in the rooms are central air, which is actually pretty good because it's way too hot. But and then I discovered, which I didn't show you guys here, but I discovered there was a fan that I could put on, so at least some type of airflow was happening. But I didn't really realize that until like towards the end of my trip. So that's that. Now this is the next day. I think, what day was this? I believe this was the next day. I don't even remember, to be honest, but I think so because we were actually getting prepared to go to Aquatica. I didn't film everything that I did on this trip. Some things I filmed, but it was like short videos. And if you want to watch them, you can watch them on my TikTok. I'll leave it on here, but my TikTok is the same as my channel name. It's just that it has 3 underscores. But I'll leave it somewhere here. But anyway, I was actually making breakfast for my brother first, so that's why there's so many pancakes. Because really, Florida, they sell sometimes the very, very small pancakes, and that pancake can equate to like 4 small medium-sized pancakes, so that's why so many. Don't be alarmed. But anyway, and then also I was just cleaning out the dishes because it's the first time of us using them. So I don't know how they clean it. What I will say is they definitely use the housekeeping does use the dishwasher. Every time that we come back, we would find our dishes in the dishwasher if we didn't put them in there ourselves. So they do clean it, but again, we don't know how long from our stay, like who cleaned what. So we were better off just hand washing it for the first time around, before we actually ate and used the cups and forks and all that stuff. So that's what you guys see me doing here. And then I'm just gonna move on to the next part. Another piece I wanted to add is that I forgot to add is not all the plugs were in working condition. So there were certain areas where one plug would work but the other one wouldn't work, and a lot of the outlets. So that's just something else to be mindful of. I was having that issue with the toaster and I was wondering like why is it not working. Then when I changed the outlet, it worked. So that's just another thing. They definitely need to fix their outlets. I don't know if that's every room, but I mean, of course, there was a good enough outlets that we could use, which was a good thing. We had outlets also, like I didn't show you guys that, but on the side, like the bar area side where you could sit, there was outlets there. There was outlets behind the booth sitting area. There was outlets on the side of the couch. There was outlets on both sides of the beds in the bedroom. Plus, they had outlets in like the alarm clock. So there was definitely a lot of outlets. So that's why it wasn't a major issue. But if you're a person who needs to like plug a lot of stuff, you had options, but there were issues with some of the plugs that the outlets didn't work at all. So just to know. And then just another piece, I didn't really show you guys as much of outside as I wanted to, just because there's a lot of people around. This is a family resort, so every time I went out to film, like I couldn't really find a time where nobody was there, or by the time I was out, it was everybody's outside, so it kind of like made it hard. And I didn't want people to be like, "Why is she filming my face?" or something like that. Just because there's younger kids there, is not only like older people. So I was trying to be mindful of that. But this was the key house. That's pretty much the lobby area where you check in. But they also have the recreation room, which I used quite a few times because we stayed there. They give you like this coupon book where you can get some different coupons or incentives. So like we used the coupon where you can get a free movie rental, so we used that twice. They had a plethora of DVDs of like Harry Potter, just different like modern movies, pretty much. And then also you could use a coupon to get like Starbucks. I mean, yeah, Starbucks coffee, but you had to buy breakfast sandwiches. We didn't really use that. We just paid for the coffee when we wanted to. They had other options. It is not only Starbucks. They had like this place called Patio Grill, Bar and Grill. They also have the Outpost. All these places I didn't show you guys, but I will leave the name of the resort so you guys can check it out because all that is on their website. So this is so much material. They had this small kiddie pool behind there that I showed you guys, and across they have a smaller pool. The pool that I showed you from our patio is a different pool. That's the one we regularly went to because it was bigger and it just had more stuff, and they always had music playing every time at that specific pool. So I feel like that's why people were always at that pool, because that's like the main pool where they had a lot of activities as well. They had many opportunities for stuff to do. So like if you weren't going outside, like the days we weren't going outside, we tried to like do something, and if not, we just stayed in the room and relaxed. As you can see, they have more opportunities to play like checkers out here. And then they have other games like but anyway, so back to something that we used. That was the movie rented, Made in Manhattan. And then I'm sorry, I said Made in Muppets. I think it's called Muppets Made in Manhattan. We have a DVD player as well, which I forgot to mention that. But this is the only one only area though where there's a DVD player, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think the other rooms had them. So if you wanted to watch a movie, the other movie that we rented was Harry Potter the first time, but I never filmed it. But this was like a family movie night where we all were watching the movie, so it was actually like just funny movie time. And then we did do another movie night, but we just used like Netflix. So another good perk about these TVs is that they have apps, so you can watch YouTube, Netflix. There was Prime Video, so you can really feel like you're at home. Just make sure you log out your accounts, obviously. That's what I tried to do before I leave. But yeah, so this is just a setup. We bought a few stuff. Publix was our go-to to buy everything. If you've ever been in Florida, I've been there multiple times. Publix is like the main thing. So anyway, this is us watching the movie, us enjoying the pizza. I'm just trying to like reiterate anything that I may be forgetting about the resort to tell you guys. And I didn't realize, look at such a nice sunset behind me. Is when I edit and I see these things, like that's actually cool. That's like how the sunset is just going down. Big back activities, me eating this pizza. But I think that's pretty much it. As I go through, you guys are just gonna see some other activities. I believe I have the puzzle. That's one of the things also you can rent. Like they don't really ask you anything about those. You just have to make sure you sign it out, and then sign it back in. Which is like if you do puzzles, they had a bunch of puzzles you could do, or like board games as well. So there's like so many things that you can do. So like if you, let's say you're not going out for something, you can definitely find other options. But this is us watching the movie. Gave you a little snippet of that.
It's go to like SNL and stuff like that. They said that they treat even the actor for including your in different special room. And they all thought, who is picky? God wants to meet you. Like they treat them like real people that are celebrities, which is so funny.
So this was the main event, as you guys can see when I filmed it. It's pretty much an arcade thing, of course. If you've ever been to an arcade, we just wanted to do something extra on our vacation that was like low cost, because we did do Epic Universe, which that video is already out. If you guys want to check it out, you can go ahead and check that out. And like I said, I also did Aquatica, but I didn't film it. I did that 2 years ago. So if you want to see how Aquatica was, you can check it out 2 years ago. I will say my Aquatica experience this time around was definitely different, because one, there were bees, but that's a different story because this is not about Aquatica. Of course, like every arcade, some games didn't work. They took some of my points off the card for games that didn't work, so and that's always been an experience that I've had in an arcade. So I couldn't. It's not at that point. What's the point of reporting it? You can't really do anything about it. Um, I will say this is the first time I went to arcade where everybody was able to get something out of the thing. Like one of my siblings got a plushie out of it. We just split up the points. Somebody got a cup. Somebody got a selfie light. I just got a random thing. I didn't really get anything meaningful. I didn't really care that much. It was just I wanted to go to the arcade for the fun of it. But that's the first time we got so many points that everybody could actually get something worth it. So that was, I guess, the good thing about being there. And the last thing that I want to state, coming to Orlando, just know that I don't know if it's a whole Florida thing. Actually, it's a whole Florida thing, I think. You have to pay parking for everything. I expected that for the theme parks and the water park that we went to, but even here we went to the mall. You have to pay for parking at the mall as well, which I thought was very interesting because in New York you don't have to do that. We went to another mall. I didn't really show you guys that. That was the premium outlets. Will have a separate video coming up where I actually show you guys everything that I got from there because they actually had really good deals. Um, so I got a few things, but we luckily didn't have to park in that one because we had to like wrap around until we got parkings. And people don't seem like they don't like to park all the way in the back, but why would I not? Because you can get money. So that's something to note. Like, be prepared to have money on hand to pay for parking everywhere you go. Everywhere we went, all the malls. The only mall, like I said, we didn't pay for was at the Orlando Premium Outlet because we found the free parking. But this out of Puente Orlando, that's something. That's what it's called, whatever it's called. I'll put the extra name just to get into that mall area because that's where this was. You have to pay for parking. They also had a 4DX movie theater. We didn't go to that, but they had that in there too. Pretty much any like game type of things they had in there. So just to note, like you will have to pay for everything. It doesn't matter where you go to. The only things that are free parkings are like the big, small little area malls and stuff like that. But some of these specific malls, it seems like they make you pay extra just to come into the mall, which I thought was very interesting. But yeah. I didn't really want to bore you guys with this puzzle. I ended up doing about more than half of the puzzle, but then by the third day, I did it by myself in 2 days. By the third day, though, I was over it, so I actually put it all back and brought it back to the recreation office. But I got a good chunk of it. If I can put the picture up here on here, I will because I did take a picture if I didn't delete it of the full thing where I was almost done, but I shouldn't have given up, but I was over it at that point. I only had like a small little section to finish, but it was a challenge done itself. Now this is towards almost the last day. It wasn't the last day yet. We went to the visitors flea market. I really just wanted to go to try the henna tattoo. They did have it in there. It's okay for if you want to actually like shop for stuff, but I really did most of my shopping already, so I really didn't want to buy too much. The only thing I ended up getting, like I said, was the henna thing because I like to get them, and it's not something that you often see often. And also I got like one little Hello Kitty bracelet or something, and that was about it. And we tried the food. I didn't show you, I forgot to show you guys my food. I showed it on Instagram, I think. If I can get a picture of the actual food. The food was good, but it's also, that's the thing too, the food was highly priced because, again, they need to make extra money. The vendors have to make money, which is understandable. And then lastly, what else was I gonna add? We also had to pay for parking here as well. So again, it was like $5. I think that's the standard $5 unless you stay longer, like the Ada Puente, whatever it's called. I keep on saying it wrong. Um, I think it's Ada Puente though, or at Point. You have to pay extra. I think depending on how long you stay, but we only paid $5. I think because we weren't there for as long of a time. So that's also to note. But as you guys can see, this is a flea market. I showed you majority of it. It's just a lot of like clothing, um, Disney related things, all that stuff. I didn't really care for that. I have so much Disney stuff. I just wanted to see what it was about and just do something that was low cost, low budget. Thing is, it's just nice to see if you don't really buy anything. Some people I think just came for the food, or I saw some people looking around, but it's not a lot of people that I saw shop. I did see people shopping for some stuff. Yes, if you want the metaphorical rate, like somebody bought a suitcase where I was doing my henna because the person who was doing the henna also had like a business where she was selling other stuff. So she's like multiple things at once. So yeah. But I think this is gonna conclude the end of my vlog because I don't think I filmed anything else after this. I think it was just showing you guys what I got. So yeah, you're gonna have like another video where I just kind of recap everything I did, I think, or something like that. But I really tried to enjoy my vacation, and that's why sometimes I didn't pull out the camera. Like I even went to Barnes and Nobles for a pop up for AT's concert, which I posted that out. That is posted as well, so you guys can watch that. I posted it 2 days ago. Actually, today's Monday. I posted it on Sunday, so one day ago. But by the time this drops, it'll be 2 days. So I think I'm done with like talking. A lot of this I didn't talk too much because of obviously copyright reasons. A lot of places that I went to had music playing. The flea market had music playing on blast. So did the arcades. So did when I go outside for like to show you guys outside of a resort. They also have music playing. So I really can't have it as loud because I don't want copyright on my page. It's just too much, and I don't like to be demonetized for content. It's annoying. So that's why I just give you guys background music. But that's it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.